Okay. Okay, so maybe we are live. Let me just check and see if we are live. Give me a second. Okay, that should be running. Let's see. How about now? New stream. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm so excited to see you all. Today is Thursday. It is May 28th, and it is a huge day in my life. And I'm going to tell you all about it in just 1 second. I just want to give a second here. I need to try and figure out live. And all right, it's deleting. I don't know. This one was supposed to be for 11. I'm not sure if I'm live. All right. Yes, we are live. Here we go. Good. So this is working. All right. So I have a bunch of stuff that I need to do really quick because life can't be simple and easy. And I just go live and say hi, and then I have nothing to do. So on my end, I have a few things that I have to take care of really quick. I need the buffering stop though. It puts around this thing. I might have to just give me a second. We're going to get it working. I promise. All right. What I need to do is just a couple of things really fast. If you'll just be patient. Okay. So I need to edit real fast. Okay. 1 second. It'll just be a second. I promise. Copy, paste, paste, and then copy. We're almost there, I promise. So close. Here we go. There we go. Good. Copy and paste this in. This is going to be right here. Paste. Oh, that's not. What's going on here? All right. This one I don't think is live, so let's leave. This one is where we need to put this. 1 second, guys. I'm almost there, I promise. Okay, so we have all of that saved. I'm just going to upload really quick a thumbnail. Give me 1 more second. I promise we're almost there. This one goes right here. Okay, so it's been a morning. It has been a morning. Yay. Okay, so that's uploading now. We're good. We're doing great. Everything's working. Okay, and I'm just going to hit save so that everything works right. And I should be able to then see the chat in just 1 minute. So give me a minute. Thank you so much for your patience. I am going to get better at this. I promise. All right, that is saving. And I think as soon as it saves, I will just disconnect my laptop and I'll just try to see comments on the phone, because that will give us a better stream that's not buffering every 5 seconds. But right now, it's just trying to be a little bit of there we go. Yes, I got it. Okay. I think the connection just isn't great here. Okay, much better right now. All right, and I can see the chat. Oops, we're buffering again. All right, let's see if I can get down here. 1 second. All right, I'm going to get, hold on. Copy this. It goes right here, paste. I think it might even be my computer's connection. It might not even be the phone's connection. because I'm trying to look at all the chat. I'm trying to see the chat in the on the computer. Okay. So if I just make this super, super big, there. All right. So I can see the chat really super big now on my phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a huge leap of faith here. Okay. I like to use my computer. It works best to me if I can see my computer. But I'm going to close my computer. Ready? See? Computer gone. Flying by the seat of our pants here. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to just fly by the seat of our pants. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. All right, so I'm going to just put this computer out of the way. And we're just not even going to think about it anymore. Good? Okay, so let me go zoom out. Make sure you can see me. Yes, you can. I can go down a tiny bit. So today, there's going to be no beautiful greenery, no beach, no nothing, because we haven't quite got to the 50 subscribers yet. And so I am still having to use this workaround that takes my phone, because I'm not able to use the mobile YouTube Studio app yet because we don't have 50 subscribers, which is totally fine. What I need to do is I need to go on my desktop on the phone and trick it into thinking that it is a desktop. So I'm doing this workaround that is not fantastic, to be honest with you. It's not great. We're just making it work. That's what we're doing here, because everyone is just doing the very best they can. And that has to be, it has to be good enough until something changes in their life. Doing the best they can has to be good enough. And there has to be a little bit of grace and mercy, right? Because we're all just trying to do the best we can. So on that happy note, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so glad that you all are here. And this guy is zooming past on this bright orange bicycle. So where am I? So today I just look like this. I am dressed up today because I just attended, as I mentioned on the stream on Tuesday, I just attended my daughter's 8th grade graduation. So no tears on this stream, hopefully, but there might be. I'm promising you that right now. Okay, there's already been lots of tears today. My daughter is officially a high schooler. Yep, I have a high schooler. My baby is a high school student officially now. No longer a middle school student, even though she will and went back to spend the day with her friends at school. And she will go tomorrow and do whatever the last minute stuff they do. She'll go do that tomorrow. So yeah, that's where we're at. And so it was a very, very early morning in my neck of the woods, and lots and lots of things, moving parts to get coordinated. But thankfully, it all worked out in the end. I can't say that it was flawless or executed perfectly, because to be really, really gut level honest and real, which is exactly what I want this channel to be. I don't want people to come here and pretend to be okay. If you are not okay, that is totally cool. It's okay to be exactly where you are in life. This morning, I will tell you that I had many people that I had to interact with today to get everybody in their places, in their seats, here on time for graduation, like lots of moving parts this morning. And I was not perfect coordinating all those moving parts. I wasn't. It's just a fact of life. I wasn't. I would like to tell you that I was patient and I was kind and I was loving in every situation this morning, and I was not. There you have it, right? So my name is Faith, and I am not perfect. Now we know. We all know now, right? So there you have it. Okay, so that was a little tiny bit of my morning. So my daughter graduated, and it was tough. It was really, really, really hard for me. Real talk. She's my baby. I've already told you all that I have 2 children, 2 live children, and my son is 24. My daughter will turn 14 next week. And so she's my baby. She's the last child that I will get to raise, I believe. Given my age and circumstances, I believe she will be my last that I will get to raise to adulthood. I have 1 child in heaven. I believe that strongly, that I have 1 child that I will see again someday in heaven, but that little one is not on this planet with us. And I am in the grieving process. That miscarriage happened almost a year ago, October. No, not October, August, September. Okay, so now we've got all the details straight. That miscarriage happened in September of last year. And I am not all the way in a good spot yet about it. Real talk, that's what we're doing here. I am not all the way through grieving the loss of that child. So, sitting there this morning in my comfy chair, I didn't have to sit on the bleachers, so that was great. That was a huge plus. I didn't have to sit on the bleachers this morning. I got a nice comfy chair to sit in, and I watched the last child that I will get to raise walk through a door and close that door as she prepares to walk through another one in her life. And these are the last moments that I'm going to be there for these big moments. You know, like you don't get those moments back. At the graduation today, there were parents that were there that were on their phone, totally not paying attention to most of the graduation. And while I could not be there fully present at the graduation, because I love photography. I love making those memories that we can share and will have for a lifetime. So today, my job was to be the videographer. So that was my job. There was not you can be here present in this moment fully, because I had a job to do, and that was to preserve those memories for my son and my daughter in love, who could not be there today, and also for posterity, right? So I know right now my 13-year-old daughter looked at me and said, "This is totally stupid. I don't even need a graduation. I don't need anybody to come to graduation." And that was her thought, even right up until this morning. But let me tell you, when her bus did not arrive and the bus was broken down and now she was going to be late for school, all of a sudden something kicked in her body and panic set in for her. I'm going to miss my graduation. Like, something changed for her in that moment, that this is an important event and I want to be there. So all of a sudden I saw her take ownership and care deeply about the event that was going to take place this morning. So long story short, the bus did come, and we had to do a lot of finagling and emergency maneuvers to get her to school on time, but we made it. One second, it's been a long morning. I've had coffee, but not enough water. All right, so we got her off to school. Next step on the schedule was to get all guests, family members, in their right spots for the right moment and be on time and all of those things. And that is where that I wish that I could tell you I did better and that I was loving and kind in all of those moments. And I was not. I was not. Keep in mind that I have my own stuff, right? We all have our own stuff going on at the same time. So at every moment, we're dealing with our stuff, their stuff, everyone's stuff around us. And we're just, like I said, doing the best we can. So I know that the graduation ceremony is in the gym at her school. So going into that event, I already know that my PTSD and my panic, there's no windows in the gym. I already know this is going to be a humongous, stressful event for me. I have been in that gym on other occasions because my daughter is a cheerleader. And I have been to basketball games where she has cheered. And I have to tell you, it has been so, so difficult. It's so loud in there. There's no windows. And I have to fight with everything in me to stay in that room. And I have done it on a number of occasions because my daughter is worth it to me. She means the world, and I'm going to fight whatever I have to fight to show up for her, because that's what a parent does. And that's what I believe so strongly, that no matter what your kids are going through, you show up for them. No matter what, whether they say they want you there or not, you show up for them, because when they look back on that moment and they know that my mom was there, despite all of the things that she was fighting, her own personal battle, she was there and she showed up for me. That's what I want her to remember more than anything else in the world. So hopefully someday she'll be able to look back on this moment and she'll know that her mom was there, not perfectly, but her mom was there for her, because I love her more than anything else in this world, other than my son. They both get that equal spot there. Whether my daughter believes that or not, they actually do have very equal footing here. There's no favorites anymore. I love my daughter. She's an amazing, amazing person. So that was this morning, and graduation is going on. And of course, graduation. So they're saying all these wonderful things, and you've done so well, and you've grown and you've changed, and you're moving on to this new adventure. And it's, like designed to pull people's heartstrings. So, maybe it's just me and I'm just overly emotional. But yeah, it was very emotional for me, that moment of knowing that door is closing. And I don't have a middle schooler anymore. I also had a friend in my previous life. So life before heart attack, and health problems and everything else, and this new life that I live now. Before that, I had a home, I had a regular life, I had a job, all of those things. I had a normal everyday life like everyone else. And so my job at that point, in the beginning, was I owned a home daycare. And so I had lots and lots and lots of families that let me in and let me be part of their family. And that was such an honor to me. One of those families, a lot of the families, actually, not just one, a lot of the families are still in my life. It's on Facebook. It's not everyday contact anymore, obviously. But I still am able to keep up with a lot of them on Facebook, their families. And so now I'm watching all these babies. Like I had a home daycare for almost 20 years. 20 years of babies growing up and leaving and going on in their new adventure. Goldfly, if you are still happen to be watching and the stream is doing fine, if you could just please maybe just pop that in the chat so I know that would be super helpful, because I'm literally flying blind here. I can't really see much of anything. So I'm talking about the daycare, my home daycare that I had when I started it when my son was little. So that, thank you, Goldfly. Lots of love. So when my son was little, so that's like insanely 22 years ago, I started that daycare, right? So it was 15 years of daycare life, not 20 years. My bad. So I started having these kids, right, that would come into my life, and I would get to be with them all day long, 5 days a week. And it was awesome. And I was so thankful to be able to be there when their moms and dads couldn't be there. So it was a huge responsibility I took very, very seriously. And I loved doing home daycare. Love, love, love. So a lot of those kiddos are in whole different parts of their lives now. Some of them are in their 20s. Some of them are just graduating high school. I have one young man who I'm friends with his family on Facebook, and they just posted his high school graduation. He's in jazz, amazing human being. Yeah, it's emotional. Those are my babies, right? They're not my kids, but they're my babies that I had a hand in raising. Some of them for like 3, 4, 5 years in my life. And after. Some of them I'm still friends with today, like in-person friends. So one graduated. He's a jazz musician. He's amazing. And then yesterday, another one of my friends posted about my little JJ, who that family is so special to me. The firstborn was in my daycare, and JJ's mom and I became super, super great friends. And then JJ has a little sister. And when she came along, I was no longer doing home daycare. And so I was already moved on after daycare because I wanted to spend more time with my children that did not involve having other children to think about. Like I wanted more one-on-one time, especially as my daughter was getting into school. I wanted to be able to be that school mom that went to the classroom. And so I transitioned from doing the home daycare, and I transitioned to teaching English online. So that's what I did next after daycare. And that's what I did until the heart attack. That was for 3 or 4 years, I did that. So, while I was teaching, I also became JJ's sister's nanny on the weekends. So she went to preschool, she went to a daycare during the week, and when Mama needed somebody on the weekends, I was it. So I would finish teaching. I'd start teaching because I taught children in China and Japan mostly. So I would start teaching at approximately 2 a.m. So I went to bed super early, got up, and I started teaching. Then I would teach until 8 or 9. This is on the weekends, right? So I would teach all 7 days a week. There was no break. Anyway, so I would teach until 8, and I would get in my car and I would go to their house, and then I would be with the kids all day, JJ and his sister. And it was glorious. It was wonderful. And I did that literally until my body said, you can't do this anymore. So let me tell you what was going on in that moment. A little bit of buffering. Okay, well, a little tiny bit we can handle. Thank you, Goldfly. I am doing the best I can at the park. I have 5G connection, but those little bars, I'm missing one of the little bars. So it's not going to be perfect. If I stop moving the phone, it's probably better. If I just don't touch the phone, I won't touch the phone. Okay, so JJ, I was with them on the weekends up until I had my heart attack. At the time of my heart attack, I promise I promised you we're going to talk about the colors of heaven, and I really am getting there. I promise. We're heading in that direction. We might not be able to talk about all of it today because we got a late start and the technical difficulties and the graduation, blah, 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 blah. But we're heading in that direction. I promise. I haven't forgotten. Okay, so I'm teaching English. I'm nannying on the weekend, and I'm going through a very stressful divorce. That was my second marriage, my daughter's father, and the divorce was not nice and not fun and not easy. And so trying to work, I was teaching for 2 different English companies, and then private nanny on the weekend, all of that to try and keep all the balls in the air, right? So I have a mortgage, I have kids, I have a son that plays soccer and needs all this stuff for soccer. Like there's lots of balls that are in the air. And my body just decided that I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play this game. And so it decided we were having a massive heart attack. And so that's what we did. We had a massive heart attack. And if you were to be interested in any of that, my heart attack, open heart surgery journey, any of that, I do have some videos on my other channel, the Broken Hearted Homesteaders, because my heart literally was broken and we had to get a lot of fixing. I can link after the fact. I'll put for the replay, I'll put a link there. I can't do anything with, I'm just using my phone right now, and I don't have my computer to do that. So I'm going to just leave it alone, and I'll put him in the chat replay afterwards. So that gets us to 2019. And I, being a very stubborn woman, don't listen to my body. So another key takeaway for today is listen to your body. It's so important that you listen to your body. Your body will tell you exactly what it needs in every moment if you're listening. I did not. So I started having pain in my chest. I don't know what day it was. I know the date, but I don't know the day of the week. And for 2 days, I wandered around doing errands. I actually painted the cabinets in my kitchen while I was having a heart attack, while my heart was literally dying and damage was happening, and I'm painting the cabinets like a nut. And so on the second day, after I couldn't stand the pain anymore, by day 2, pain was traveling down my arm, and I could no longer sit even comfortably in a chair. If I tried to recline and lay back down at all, the pain was insane. So bad. So I finally, at that point, my son was at soccer practice, and I had to call him. He was 17 years old at the time. And I had to call him and say, I'm really, really sorry, but I don't think I can wait any longer. And I think I need to go to the emergency room. So he drove home and he picked me up. Thankfully, my daughter was with her dad at that point and at her dad's house. So my son came and picked me up and took me to the hospital. We got to the hospital. They did all the tests that they do. Long story short, they were going to send me home. I almost passed out on them just as we were about to leave. And they said, oh, I guess you should stay. And they did tests overnight and realized, man, you are actively having a heart attack. Your heart is in big trouble right now. So they whisked me into surgery. And then the next 2 years of my life ensued, where I couldn't breathe. I could barely walk because I had no energy. Life was a struggle for the next 2 years. I changed cardiologists. We tried so many different things to try and help me to be able to survive and cope, and none of that worked. So for one reason or another, we were left with the choice that the best decision next to try was open heart surgery. And so that's what we did next. That was in July. It was actually Freedom Weekend. America's birthday, July the 4th, I went into the hospital on July the 2nd because my doctor looked at a heart cath that I had done a few days prior to that, and he had been on vacation, so he hadn't seen it. He came back to work and he looked at that heart cath and he said, I need you to go to the emergency room right now, and I need to tell them that you need to be admitted and not to leave the building for any reason, because your heart could explode at any moment and you could have another heart attack. So don't pass go. Don't think. Don't do anything other than go to the emergency room right now. So that's what I did on July the 2nd. And so I got myself a cute hospital room for July the 4th on 2021. And I looked out over the roof of the hospital, and that was my view for the July 4th holiday as I waited for open heart surgery. They're like doing all this stuff, right? They're like getting a surgeon, and everybody's like rushing to make this possible. And I'm just overwhelmed, like, okay, so my cardiologist had said, this is going to be great. This is going to fix everything. And I, like kind of naively, I kind of believed him. And so what else was I supposed to do? He's the expert, right? He knows. I don't know what's going on. So I'm showing up, right? It's the next right step from everything I know. It's the next right step to do. So that's what we're going to do. And so I have the open heart surgery. You can see my scar, just a tiny bit right here. And that surgery changed my life in ways that have affected every single thing that I do today. There is not one part of my life that looks remotely the same anymore. And I have had to come to terms with a lot in the last, since 2021. So we won't go into all of that today. I won't tell you about the open heart surgery. I won't tell you the details of that. I won't tell you the details of the panic and the PTSD that I live with on an ongoing basis, because that is not the purpose of this live stream. We will talk about that another day. Today, we are talking about doing the best we can, and we're talking about the colors of heaven. So how did those two things, the open heart surgery and the colors of heaven, fit together, right? All right. So let me tell you this. One more drink. It's been a long morning. I had a near-death experience when I had my heart attack. Okay, that one I know very little about. Very, very little about. My second near-death experience was during my open heart surgery. And that one I know a lot about. And I didn't know a lot about it when I first woke up after the surgery. But now I do. I'm 5 years out. Thank goodness. I'm so thankful. Thank you, God. I am so thankful to be here, to be as healthy as I am, to have a great, great life, to be making memories, to have watched my little girl walk across that stage today. Man, I shouldn't have been here for any of it, really. And I'm so grateful. These are gifts that not only I get, but that they get. And today at the graduation, the valedictorian who spoke lost her father this year. How that child stood up there with so much grace and strength and stood there in her pain in front of her peers and said, if I can make it through this pain, so can you. If I can make it through these hard times, that I've been faced with in this past year. So can you. It was such a gift. It was like unbelievable. Unbelievable to hear her speak. She was amazing. She was so strong. So amazing. Oh, man. And to be on the other side of this and have nearly died twice, it's a gift, to be on this end. And I don't think my daughter is at the point of her life yet that she realizes that. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't want her to live with that burden right now. But my son knows. My son understands that the gift of life. On another stream, I'm going to talk to you about the amazing miracle that happened a month ago. Again, I very easily could have died. I should have died if I had just gone to sleep and taken a nap rather than going to the emergency room. The doctor assured me I would be dead right now. Okay, so we're going to tell you that story another day. That's a story for another day. We're trying to get to the colors of heaven. All right. So during that open heart surgery that my doctor assured me was going to fix everything and I was going to be running marathons within 6 weeks after that surgery. During that surgery, and because I had already had a bunch of procedures, I had told the hospital, whatever you do, you need to give me more anesthesia than you think. This little tiny girl doesn't do well with anesthesia, and you need to give me a lot to keep me asleep and under. And I really cannot tell you what happened. If I could go back and I could talk to those nurses and doctors and medical professionals and ask them what happened, I think it might help me to understand, but I don't have that opportunity. So we're just making the best of the situation. All right. So what happened was not enough anesthesia. So Faith wakes up in early with the ventilator still in, unable to breathe on my own, right? And my hands, I've mentioned this before, my wrists were tied to the metal rails of the bed. The room was completely dark, except for I could see lights from the machines, like a glow from the machines. And that's it. I could see almost like, like you have that near-death experience and there's like a light at the end and you're not supposed to go there. So that's what I could see, this light out in the hallway. So I take my wrist and I'm banging on the metal of the railing with my fingers, with my fingernails, to try and get someone's attention. Thankfully, also, which I didn't consider because I thought I was buried alive. What I didn't consider was I was in the hospital and my body was all monitored, right? So all these machines start beeping. So now I have really bad PTSD about any kind of beeping noise. Like, I just can't handle it because of that trauma of that moment of waking up with the ventilator in, being tied down, thinking I'm buried alive. So when I woke up and started my recovery, I had this horrible, horrible depression. And the only thing that I could really remember about the surgery itself, I had snippets of this color. That's all I could remember. So here we are. We're at the story now. We finally made it. Whew. Right? It only took me like an hour to get here. Thankfully, I started the stream late, so it hasn't really been an hour. We're getting there. Here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to anyone else who has joined us and who will see the replay. So we are finally ready to tell the story of the colors of heaven. If you've made it this far, thank you. A huge thank you. And I hope that this will be a help and blessing to you. So the only thing I remembered from my surgery, other than the trauma, was this color of blue. And for some reason, it was stuck in my head, this color blue that I had never, ever seen before. I'd never seen it before in my life. I mean, obviously, you see blue every day in your life. You see different colors of blue, different shades of blue. But this blue was a blue that I had never seen. It was so deep and so pure blue that I had since remembered bits. I started to remember bits as I was trying to process that depression and trying to figure out what that color blue meant. Eventually, it came to me that that color blue was what I went through in my near-death experience. So for me, my near-death experience looked like floating, just floating in this blue. I was surrounded by this color blue. It was amazing. It was so rich, 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 like royalty. It was so deep and rich and beautiful. And I was just at peace, like peace that you cannot even describe and that no one will ever understand. And a peace that I struggle and hope, and that's my goal, to attain every moment of my life. And sometimes I get there. Every once in a while, I can get there, back to that level of peace that's so deep, that transcends anything that's happening around you. It was fantastic. So here I am. I'm floating in the blue. And that's all I remember when I first wake up. And for months after that, that's all I remember is floating in this blue and feeling this sense of calm and peace that was unbelievable. And on the other hand, with that, remembering that sense of calm and peace, I couldn't figure out why I was still on this planet. And it didn't make any sense to me. Like, why would I not have stayed in that blue, in that peace? What the heck did I come back here for? To all the hurt and all the pain and all the chaos and all of the struggle. And my body is trying to recover. And I just was like, what on earth? Why didn't I stay there in the blue? I didn't see a bright light. I didn't, I don't remember seeing a bright light. I just remember this blue. So I struggled majorly with depression and suicidal thoughts for months after my open heart surgery. Thankfully, I had a therapist that was walking with me, but it wasn't until it must have been almost 6 months later. Like I'm telling you guys, and we'll talk about this more, but I would literally, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't function hardly. I was so depressed. So at 2:00 in the morning, I would wake up and I would walk around my little town and I would pray that someone would attack me and I would end up killed because I was afraid. I was afraid to take my own life. I have a belief system. I am a woman of faith. I've mentioned my Catholic faith, but before being Catholic, I've only been Catholic for a year. Before that, I've always grown up in a family of faith. So to take your own life, I have been taught, ingrained in me, that if I was to take my own life, then I would be forfeiting, whether it's right or wrong. I'm not saying that in this moment. I'm just saying that if I chose to take my own life, I would be forfeiting any chance I had of going to heaven. So that fear was keeping me alive in the moment while I struggled with depression and suicidal thoughts. But I would wander around, right? I'm wandering around at 2:00 in the morning, hoping that someone else will take my life because I don't want to take it myself, because then I can't go to heaven. Nutso, right? Like, it's so nuts. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I had to go through that. And this is what I'm talking about. I wish there was someone that was live in that moment that I could have said, I am like going insane here. And I just need someone to be here in these moments when I feel so vulnerable and so powerless and so overwhelmed. That's the whole point here. That's what I want to do. I want to build this community that when people are in those moments, there is someone here, someone that they can go on the Discord, which we're trying to find an alternative. I've already said that. We can find another place, a platform where we can build that community. Right now, that looks like the YouTube community page, the post page. And also, if you go to my channel page, my email is there. If you are in one of those moments, whether it is 2 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if you need to reach out, I check my email all the time. I will get a notification just like that. And I want to. It's my greatest desire to not let people be walking in those moments alone. That's the point here. I know what I went through. And I know how hard it was because I was walking around in the dark, literally and figuratively, all by myself, wanting to not be here anymore. And thankfully, that nothing happened to me and I was safe and kept safe to get past all of that and get to this beautiful place that I'm in now. But man, that was in 2022, right? That was 2022. So now look, it's 2026. 4 years. 4 years have passed since then. Do you know how many memories I would have missed? Right? How many memories my kids have because I chose to, and God didn't let me take my life, right? And somehow I made it through the dark. So yeah, that's the whole point here. I don't want you to walk in the dark alone. Please, please, please don't walk in the dark alone. I am here on this planet for a reason. And if that one reason is because you need me here and I could walk with you in that moment, please, please, please let me do that. That would be my greatest honor and privilege because that gives me purpose too, right? I'm here for a reason. Yes, I'm here for my children. And that's another part of the story that I'm going to tell you a different color that I got. The colors of heaven. I'm going to write a book about it. I've already started. So blue is the first color of heaven that I saw. And it was amazing. It's just this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blue that I rarely see in the world. I see it. The thumbnail that I put there is at the beach. And every once in a while, I see heaven's blue at the beach in the sky. It doesn't happen very often. It's every once in a while, and it's an amazing thing. So that's why I put the thumbnail I did today to represent heaven's blue. So blue is the first color that I got after my near-death experience. Blue, that blue of peace. Blue to me represents peace. The next color I got was green. This amazing, 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 vibrant, so vibrant that it almost hurts your eyes. It's so amazing. Green. And the story behind that is a whole nother amazing story. So we're going to talk about that. It's going to be part 2. So today is Thursday. We're going to go live again on Tuesday. And we will talk about, I'll tell you the story of the color green, heaven's green. So we've got heaven's blue. The blue is peace. It's just this unbelievable peace that you cannot even imagine. Imagine. So now you know where the blue came from and a little bit more of my struggle. And so, yeah, let's just take a second. I'm going to take a second and I'm going to just hold on a second and have some space here. All right. So Goldfly has sent me a message and let me see what he said. All right. Through is la. Okay. Are we allowed? No, we're not doing that right now. Okay. So that's the story of the blue. We're going to work on the story of the green next. I also found this amazing poem that I can't read to you guys because I'm on my phone. So again, we're going to do a little tiny bit of housekeeping. And I'm sorry, feel free to click off, stop the replay right now. If you don't want to listen, I totally get it. It's annoying, but it's important housekeeping. It helps me so much if you'll just listen for another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay? So number 1, I am stuck. Like I said in the beginning, I'm stuck doing the stream from my desktop version of Chrome because I can't use YouTube Studios to do the stream on my phone because we don't have enough subscribers yet. I need to hit that 50 number. 50 subscribers is the sweet spot where YouTube will say, okay, channel's unlocked, go for it. Until then, we have to use this workaround, which is clunky, and my laptop doesn't always work because I'm having to use my phone for a hotspot for the laptop. La, 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 la. I live in a van. I don't have a house. I can't do this at the library. We're just doing the best we can. Everybody's doing the best they can, right? Okay. So I need, it would be so helpful if we could get to 50 subscribers, like ASAP. If you could share the show, if you think it would help someone, if you know someone that's going through a hard time and you think it could be helpful, and you could just share the video, one of the videos that I've made so far, and they would subscribe. That would be so helpful. If we could get just to 50, would be even fantastic. So that's that. If we could get to the 50 subscribers, that would be helpful. So if you need to subscribe, one of the things that you need to remember that was, it's been asked to me, how do I do this? So just to let you know, you need to hit the subscribe by Caring Connections with Faith, the YouTube channel. You hit subscribe, and then there's that little tiny bell that everybody talks about, all the YouTube creators talk about, and it's so annoying, but it's so important because if you don't hit the bell, then you're never going to know when I go live. You'll get a notification if you hit all notifications at that little bell icon. So that'll be super helpful. It helps you and it helps me. So I want to be able to do this indefinitely, right? This is my purpose. This is the thing I really feel is important, that I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to continue. If only one person shows up every time, even if Goldfly is the only one that shows up every time, maybe I'll say something Goldfly needs to hear. Who knows? But we're going to keep on going. We're not giving up. I'm not a quitter. As you can clearly see, not a quitter. I don't give up easy. So we got the subscriptions out of the way. We clicked the bell. If you can share the show, if you think it would help people and get the word out, that would be so helpful. Word of mouth is going to be the fastest way that we grow, right? So I'm doing shorts. I'm trying to do everything I can marketing wise, which I hate on my end. But if you would help me, then that would help the channel. And come and be part of our community. That's the most important thing, right? Be a part of this community that we're building. We're building something that could be amazing and could help so many people. There's so many people out there that are hurting and they're lonely and they don't think that anyone there is kind around them anymore. But we can be that for them. We can give them that gift. I just need your help to get there. Okay? So yeah, so that's a little tiny bit of housekeeping. Again, just to go over, I'm going to aim for Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. If we need to adjust the time, we can do that. So again, if you have a different time, a different idea, an idea for what you want to talk about, let me know. There's lots of ways to do that. So you can go on the page and you can leave a comment on any of the videos. You could leave a comment on any of my posts that I put in the community tab. I've posted a couple of different things about times at the beach, and another way to connect with me would be to go to the channel and look down, scroll down, and it has my email there, caringconnectionswithfaith@gmail.com. Feel free to shoot me an email at any time. I really mean that. Really, really, really mean that. So that's not an inconvenience to me. That's a blessing to me. If you would connect with me, that would be a huge blessing in my life. And that just about wraps it up on my end. So let's see. We have talked about connections. We've talked about the times. We're going to go live Tuesday and Thursdays at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, unless someone has a better idea. I don't have all the ideas. I don't have all the answers. I have a whole big pile of pain that I know about and that I understand, and that helps me to understand other people. And that's what I want to be able to share. I want to share your pain and your pile of crap that you're walking through right now. So please, please, please come and help me build this community so that we can be there for others that are also going through hard times. So that's what we're going to do. I can't wait to reconnect with you guys again. I'm going to take the weekend, and hopefully I'm going to do a little bit of take care of faith in this moment, because that's important too, right? This whole week, I've been driving my daughter to school. It's about a 45-minute drive each way, and lots of things have been going on. So this weekend, I'm going to take some time to recharge and chill and take care of faith. And I hope that you will too. Find a little bit of sunshine. Maybe you can find a beach, or maybe you're not near the beach and you could find a beautiful green tree that you could sit beside. Or maybe that's not your thing and you just want to go to the mall, but do something that is special for you, that makes your heart happy and that makes your tank a little fuller so that you're not running on empty, so that you have things to give to others around you. Okay? That ripple effect starts right there with you taking care of you. And then we ripple out after that, only after that. Okay, so that's all that. I love you guys. I really, really think about all of you guys that will watch the show, that will watch the replay. I really think about you so often, and I just want to be there and be a part of your life and connect with you. So lots and lots and lots of love. You are in my thoughts. You are in my prayers. If no one has told you today that you are special and that you are worth fighting for, I'm telling you that. You are worth fighting for. And I am here to do whatever I can to help you in that fight. So let me know if I can help in any way. Please, please, please reach out. And I am going to sign off for now. And we will be live again, God willing, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday morning. And because I don't have any way to tell, I have no idea what date that's going to be. But I'll be here. I hope you will too. Lots and lots of love. Take care for now. I'm going to try and end this stream. Give me 1 second. The buttons are so tiny on my phone. It's so funny. They're so, so tiny. Okay, here we go. Love you guys. Bye for now. Take care. Take good care of yourself.